Aloha everyone, Jody Mountain here with Lineage of Light. And I wanted to address today where we are in terms of how we're handling everything that is arising in our world, all the shifting, undulating foundations of our social world, our educational world, our travel world. There's a lot changing. And there are also a lot of polarities happening. So what I'm observing is that there are people very deeply in one extreme and other people very deeply in another extreme on many different levels for many different issues. And I recently had news of a very tragic event. I don't need to get into the details, but basically another example of someone some very sweet, kind, mild-mannered soul who seemingly, I don't know what happened, seemingly just lost it and created violence and death in his world. And that really struck my heart. And it led me to wondering, how is it that someone with seemingly such a easygoing and bright personality could end up at such an extreme in terms of perhaps anger and violence. And I think that the pressures that we face today are significant. They have to do with our livelihood. They perhaps bleed into our relationships, having to spend so much time together. They have to do with our children's education and how that affects them and us and our schedule. So there are a lot of practical elements, a lot of practical pressures in a way that are on us right now or in our sphere. And I think that one possibility is that whatever we have been holding on to that keeps us sane, that keeps us strong, that keeps us centered, perhaps that too is experiencing undulations. So a lot of the modern culture believes that our light, our strength, and our power mostly comes from God and the angels and our guides and teachers, or our deities that we believe in, whether they are Krishna or Jesus. And I'm not to comment on any of those belief systems because I basically know nothing about them, or I don't know about them in the way that each individual person who is devoted knows about them. But this video is not meant to at all change your belief system, but it maybe is meant to open some possibilities that can be added to that might help practically stabilize us in this undulating world. So when we believe in external power as being the only source of our light, the only source of our strength, it is a possibility that as things start to crumble away from our lives, maybe even our health starts to crumble away, that we wonder, where is God? What the belief system is in this pathway is that everything that fills all of life, all of the energy, the light, the mystery of creation, that that same creation that created the world also created human beings. And if we don't ascribe to any particular myth or particular creation story, what we find at the end of the day is that what is in us, what is operating us, what is allowing us to continue to be alive is that same creation, is that same mystery. And so in fact, this body which is operating through the grace of the mystery, through the grace of creation, if you want to say it that way, through the grace of God, is the closest place that I can come to that creation. I'm actually inhabiting that creation. I am being inhabited by that creation. And the only thing that really separates us from that is our concepts, are our concepts about what is holy and what is not holy. So the ancients, in a way, had a completely reversed belief system, whereas many of the world religions would say that this body is less than spirit. This body perhaps is dirty. This body perhaps is to be overcome. The ancient indigenous wisdom says that this body is full of the sacred, and that we depend on the sacred in order to even breathe. All those things that we are not doing right now, beating our hearts, growing our hair, putting saliva in our mouth, discarding of old cells and replacing new ones, digesting our food, all of that stuff that we have no idea how it happens, but that is happening every moment of every day, is the mystery inside of us, moving through us. So what we can do in this paradigm is we can start to open up our ability to listen to that mystery in the body. And this can be done in several different practices. You can just begin actually by just as many times a day as you can remember it, just recognize that your whole body is present. That is not just your eyes and ears and brain taking in this moment, whatever it is. It could be a lecture, it could be a walk in the park, it could be a conversation. Just to take a second and just feel that your feet are resting somewhere and that there is a texture in your feet. You don't have to spend a lot of time analyzing and dissecting where your body is. Just feel the weight. Just feel the sensation. Just feel the breeze on the skin. So that's a great way to begin, as many times as you can remember that, and you might start to notice more space and possibility happening in your world as your spectrum of attention grows from just your mind, your eyes and ears and brain, into your perceptive field, which is the whole body, which is always here, right now. That can begin to change the way you are perceiving the world. There is also a practice called ho'o mana mana, which we do in the retreats, which gives us an opportunity to feel into our bodies in a new way. So it's not like yoga. It would be considered a very gentle form, I guess, of yoga, and a way to cultivate listening. So I'm offering that class this coming Friday. It'll be on Friday mornings, every Friday morning in October of 2021. And we will be together for about 2 hours, and we will cultivate that listening. For anyone considering that class, I've got the link below. But also you should know it is really about slowing down and coming into a full attention, a full cellular attention. So it will not be full of stimulation for the mind. We're basically going to let the mind soften, and we're going to listen to what else is here. Because we spend our whole day listening to the mind, calculating with the mind, analyzing with the mind, absorbing knowledge with the mind, and it's going to be asked to take a rest. Our channels of instruction and of energy from the body, from the mind to the body, are very, very well traveled. And we're going to start to open new neural pathways by opening the channels from the body to the conscious mind. The energy and the life and the mystery and the sacred that is always here is going to get more of a chance to rise to the surface and be seen and be heard by us in our conscious and awake state. So if that appeals to you, I hope you can join us in October. This form of meeting with our body consciousness, with the mystery inside of us, can add to your foundation or can become a new foundation to the way we meet ourselves on the inside and the way we meet the world. And I've found that for myself and for most of my students who know this practice and who have been through this process, they have felt very calm and even and stable in this undulating time, still able to feel the moments of, whoa, what's going on now? And oh, I thought I could do that, but I can't do that. What will I do now? And this was here, but now it's gone. What will I do? You know, it's still undulating. It's not like it's this tranquil, peaceful world the way it always was. Things are still happening, but the way we meet them, the attention and the consciousness with which we meet them has a wider place in which to fall in our awareness. So I hope that that helps to describe some of why I'm doing this course and what the course will entail. You just have to show up in comfortable clothes and it will be online. And I hope that you can join us if this draws you. If you have any questions, feel free to be in touch with me also at the contact below. Thank you for joining, everyone. I wish you abundant well-being in this very turbulent time. I'll see you next time. Aloha.